me know if you can hear me okay and if this is working all right. I am a little bit late getting set up, so you'll have to bear with me while I finish getting everything ready. How is everyone doing today? Everybody so excited to be working on their planners today. I am going to be working on setting up my 2026 planner today. Let me know if you're working on your new one or if you're catching up on your 2025 planner. I did wonder if anyone was interested in taking a look through my 2025 planner just to kind of see where that's at. I still have a couple of things to finish, but if anyone's interested in seeing some of that, let me know. In case anyone didn't know, I'm using the undated planner in 2026, and I chose the sword cover this year. I thought like immediately when I was drawing the covers, like I was fully convinced that this would be the cover that I wanted to use, and it was the one I ended up going with, but I feel like the frames was sneaky for me. As I was packing orders and like doing like promo and stuff, I was like, oh, this is like kind of really nice and cute and cozy. So it actually really surprised me, and I was almost tempted to switch, but decided to stick with my gut. But I will show you all before we get into the planning. I'm gonna flip through my chunky 2025 planner. She's thick, and like I mentioned, I'm not quite done with this one yet because the year isn't quite over yet, but I'll kind of show you what I've done so far. So if you were, I think I did my goals page on live last year, maybe? I'm not sure. I don't remember, but my goals page. Then I have my reading checklist. I use this as like a log of what I have read, and I have like the month is on the outside and highlighted, and then the color in the box is the genre, and then the letter is the format. So this page has like a ton of information, and I really like just having it. I haven't changed how I've done this page in the last couple years because it just like works for me. So this is where I'm at so far. Then we have the bookshelf page. My little piece of paper. This is where I'm at. I'm a couple of books behind on this, so I have to add a couple more, but pretty much caught up. I was like this whole side of the page behind a couple weeks ago, and I just caught up on them, and it was an endeavor, but it was worth it. I did that at our last planner party that the other Megan hosted. And we have my book series tracker and quotes. I'm actually really proud of myself this year because I am so bad about using the quotes pages, and this year I really challenged myself. If I read a 4-star book or above to like try and find a quote. I didn't always find a quote, but I tried to like really push myself, and so far I'm on my last spread, which I'm really pleased with how far I got this year because I always fall behind on the quotes pages. Pre-orders I kind of stopped using because I stopped pre-ordering books, so that kind of self-explanatory. I did so bad on my author backlist page. Like I read 3, so I need to do better about that in 2026. We have my books to reread. I didn't reread that many pages, and it's kind of boring. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with this page, so for now I just wrote the titles of all of the books I reread. And then for my playlist page, I printed out the album art that represented my most listened to song of that month. And I do them like 2 months at a time. So November will be filled in after I do December's. But I'm really happy with this page, and I'm going to do it again like this in 2026 because I think it's a fun way to keep track of music. And then movie tracker, I kind of fell off rating them and just decided to keep track of them. I'm sure I missed some that I forgot about. And TV, I also need to catch up on. I wrote like the names, but I didn't keep track of like what we all watched. So I need to go back and fill that in. This one, my in-person book club stopped. So it was really unfortunate that I didn't get very far on this page. It was not my fault, but it stopped. My 5-star reads, pretty self-explanatory. Finished my A to Z challenge. Yay. I was really excited that I finished that. I'm also finished this one, but I have yet to print out this cover because I don't want to waste one photo paper for one cover, so I need to wait till I need to do more. But this one is actually finished. And then I finished both of these, which I am really proud of myself. I almost never finish these. And did pretty decent on the genre. I don't really like push myself to do the Read Through the Ages or the Around the World. I kind of just like to see how far I can get every year. So I am happy with where I got, but I'm not sad that I didn't get very far. And then the 25 books in 2025, I did not do great at. I'm really hoping in 2026 I can do better at this challenge. Yeah, hopefully. Did you guys do well on your 25 books in 2025? It's the one that I wish I had done better at, but I just, as a mood reader, it's kind of hard to predict at the beginning of the year what 25 or 26 books I'm going to be reading. And then this is my reading goal tracker. This year is the first year I've done it quite like this, where I colored the background. So the background color is the genre, and then I put the format. And I actually really like doing it this way. I think I'm going to do it this way again in 2026. I'm glad I'm not alone in the 2020 or in the 25 books challenge. That one was pretty difficult. Battle of the Books, I obviously haven't finished because I don't know what my December book is going to be yet, but I'm like pretty much already know that Atmosphere is going to beat out anything, so it's just a matter of waiting till I can fill in this part. And then I have my page tracker. I did this year the like how many pages I read. I'm going to do something different in 2026, which I'll get into when I set up my planner. And then we have my reading stats, which again isn't finished because I'm waiting on December. Same with the genre tally. And then I haven't done my pie graphs because I'm waiting until the end of the year. Pages read, I did mark in with pencil like where the lines will be. And then put like my little, I filled in the side there. But I haven't finished the graph. I'll do that right near the end of the year. And we have my romance bingo, which I did get a bingo, but I kind of stopped filling them in. So, yeah. And then the AFU bingo, I almost filled the whole card. I ended up with 4 prompts left, which is, I think, pretty decent. But I had a lot of fun with the AFU bingo. I'm going to work on this page, I think, on my 2026 as well. And then we have my genre Tetris, which I knew I wouldn't get to the top. I don't read enough to get to the top, but it was really fun to do this year, and I'm really excited that this page is in the 2026 planner. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm not going to go through, like, every month and show you. How did I add pages? I cut them, I have printables on my website, and then they have like marks where you cut them, and then I just use this like double-sided tape to tape them over an extra page. Easy peasy. I'm actually going to be doing that in my 2026 planner, so you'll see how I do that. I didn't use the rest of these Stockard pages, but I did want to like kind of show an example of how I used the month in 2026. So I have like my calendar, which is just like I have personal things, business things, and then like holidays. And then I always do my TBRs. I am iffy about new releases. It kind of depends on the month. And then I have like an example of a week. I did vertical in 2025. I'm doing the undated in 2026. So it'll be a little bit of different spread. And then it's just an example of what those look like. Bookish haul and reading wrap up. And then I wanted to show at the end of every month, I did this like on the Docker page, I did like a little scrapbook with photos from the month. And then on this side, I keep track of my top music, how many workouts I had, and then just some like memorable moments. And it's just a really nice way to me like look back at all of the months. And I had so much fun doing it like this. This year's the first year I've done it, and I just think it was like, it makes my planner like really special and personal, and now I can like go back and look through snapshots of my year. So I'm gonna do that again. And then here's an example of a quarterly check-in I did. Just kind of show all of the little things. I'm gonna do this again in 2026 because it was really fun to kind of work on that every month. I have yet to do December, so I'm gonna skip that one. I did not finish all of my reviews. I'm really behind on reviews. But then I'll just show at the end I have like extra trackers. And this has been one of my favorite things to add to my planner. So I have a health tracker to keep track of some symptoms and health concerns. And then I do like a fitness tracker. And then I do a rate my day, which has been really fun. And then I did a temperature tracker, which I just love seeing like the color variance. I'm going to do all 4 of those again in 2026 because I really liked doing them. And then kind of similar to the scrapbook pages I did a like remember this moment where I picked one picture from each month and just put it in, like just printed it full size on my mini printer and just added it in. So I have to add December, but it's just like kind of a nice little way to like use my planner, I guess, and like use the pages at the end and make it more like of a scrapbook and personal to the year. So I really liked doing that. I'm going to do it again next year, I think. But that is a look through my 2025 planner. If you want to see anything specific, just let me know. But let's move on to what we're really here for, which is to set up my 2026 planner. I think I saw someone ask why I decided to switch back to the undated. It's kind of a 2-part. I really like the vertical, but sometimes I find there's too much in the week for me to like focus on. And the undated is a little bit more simplified, and I like the weekly overview rather than like the focus on individual days. And then the other reason is because it's like a business decision kind of, in that I show my planner a lot, and then throughout the year people like see my planner and they want to get that exact planner, and if it's like a dated version they can't get it. So if I show the undated and we still have that in the store, then it's a direct link to a product that they can get. But also I just really liked the undated weekly spread idea. Do you have a blank tracker pages on your website? I'm not sure. Like this one? Is that the one you mean? Because if so, yes, I do. So in my 2026 planner, I've only done a couple of things. One of which is I did an Instagram video with my 26 books in 2026. This isn't in the undated planner, so I added it in. I have a printable if anyone has the undated and still wants to do this challenge. So I did a video filling that in. So that page is like done. And then the other thing, I penciled in a couple of things just to kind of figure out my goals and like layout of things. So as you can see, I have some pencil done, and then I kind of just got a sense of like where things are gonna go. But otherwise, I haven't really done anything in this planner at all. So some things I want to accomplish. I'm not sure I'll get everything done today because I have so much to do. So I'll probably do another one of these in early January in case anyone wants to jump on that one. And I also am going to go through and date my undated planner separately. And I'm just waiting on something to arrive that will make it a little bit easier. So stay tuned for that. So I'm going to add in all of my I have 4 of these like blank things. I'm going to add those in today and like fill them all in. So that's on my agenda to do today. I'm probably going to ink some of this today. And then I'm going to put those trackers at the dot grids. And then at the back, I wanted to do, I'm going to show you something new I'm doing this year. Which is, I saw this on TikTok, and I just thought it was like kind of a neat way to like remember the year in a different way, like not just photos. So I got this punch. It's like a hexagon, and the idea is that you take something, it doesn't have to be every day, but I'm going to try and do it like most days. So like if you had like a receipt or like some packaging or like you got some cute mail, you take like a punch of it and you like fill in the page with all of the like scraps for your year, and like it fills in like tile almost. I don't really know how to explain it, but I thought it sounded really cool. So I'm going to try it in 2026. So I need to set up my title for that as well. And I thought it'd be something different to add to my planner in a different way to like remember things. So if you had like ticket stubs or something, I don't know. I'm always looking for new ideas. But for now, I think I'm going to start on my star ratings. I'm doing Schitt's Creek this year. I do not have a 3-star quote yet. I need to figure out what that's going to be, but I'll do the rest for now. Yeah, it is something a lot of junk journalers do. So I really like the undated layout and wish you would do that later on the dated planner. I wish I could add all of the, like I have people want an undated vertical, an undated horizontal, or a dated dashboard, but that like opens so many different layout options, and I have to hit minimums with my supplier, and I just can't. So I have to like make some tough decisions about what can be made into what. And then this year with the tariffs, it just kind of threw everything off. So I would love to offer, but there's just a lot of behind the scenes things that make that really difficult. I got the punch from Amazon, and I'm sure you could get it at like a craft store though. I just didn't want to go out. So anyways, back to doing things. I feel like I'm not going to get anything done today. I'm just going to chit chat the whole time. But if I missed it, what are you all, I think I did miss it. What are you guys working on today? I'm also curious if you have a themed star rating system. What was your theme this year? If you are new to watching me do lives, I really struggle to talk and do things at the same time, and I like almost always make mistakes. So if I stop talking, it's because I'm trying to concentrate and not mess something up. Updating 2025, filling in AFB bingo. Gilmore Girls quotes, that'd be a good one. Life of a Showgirl lyrics, that would be fun too. I did Taylor Swift song titles in 2025. That was mine. Funny quotes from... That's cute. This time of year is always like... I feel like there's just always so much to do planner-wise because you've got like 2 planners. You have one you have to set up, and then you have one you have to like finish. So there's like no shortage of things that need to be done. I'm gonna skip my 3-star for now until I can come up with one. I'm here to steal ideas from everyone else. I love that. I'm new to this, ordered my first book journal for myself, so I'm here getting ideas. I love that, and welcome. I tend to do a lot more plan with me's in the beginning of the year, just because everyone's like really like excited about it, and like there's not that much to do in the winter. So, well, if you're in the northern hemisphere, so I do plan on doing more plan with me's. It's always fun to just kind of chill, and it's nice like it's nice to have like a dedicated time where you can like get together and chat with other people, and like it would like force you to like sit down and work on your planner. But also, even if you're not working on your planner, you could like come and color or do some other crafty thing. It's kind of nice to just like take time out of your day for yourself. I am not using Just Fold It In, but I wonder if that would work for 3-star. Do we think that would work for 3-star? Really, it's just an excuse for me to use Schitt's Creek quotes. I always have a lot of people tell me that they're like really nervous to start their new planner, and I totally get that. I think that's a thing, like that people get like nervous about using new stationery because they don't want to. And I have 2 things to say. One is that you'll probably mess it up, and that's okay. There's whiteout, it's fine, like you can cover it up. At the end of the day, it's your planner, and it's totally fine. The other thing is that if I'm trying to plan something out, like my goals page, I was doing in pencil first and then just erase it after. So if you're nervous about that, try pencil because it's easy to, then you can make all the mistakes and perfect it. So that's what I was saying, use it for 3 stars. I will. Thank you for your idea. Although I'm going to do it in, like I just said, I'm doing pencil first so I can get the spacing. When I put my like 26 books in 2026, I literally messed it up. I had to white out. So it is totally fine to make mistakes. It just makes your planner more personal. also going to fill in some of my most anticipated books, and I would love to hear from you guys. What are some books that you're really looking forward to in 2026? I have And Now Back to You, which I am so excited about. I loved First Time Caller. It was like the like rom-coms from like the 90s and like early 2000s, you know, when they were like good. And they don't make rom-coms like that anymore. And I think that And Now Back to You will be very similar. And then I have Light Wielder, which is the sequel to Metal Slinger, which I read earlier this year and really enjoyed. The Knave and the Moon, I also have that on my list. Really looking forward to that one as well. I always like to put some that I like know I'm excited for, but then I also like leave room in case some are announced. I say that, but then like I never go back and add to it. What do we got? Red God, The Sun and the Star Maker. I haven't heard of that one. All Hail Chaos, Eyes of Kings, Astro. I haven't heard of any of these. I feel like I need to like do some digging. I love First Time Caller. My whole book club hated it. What? How could you hate that book? It's so cute. Deadbeat by Leigh Bardugo. I haven't heard of that one either. I haven't heard of any of these. Apparently I need to like get out there more. Deadbeat is a third Ninth House book. Oh, I did read Ninth House. I didn't love it. I'm not gonna lie. I read it a long time ago though, so I don't remember why I didn't like it. I just know it wasn't for me. Which is fine. The other book I'm really excited for is Grim Tidings, which is also by B.K. Borson. Can you tell I'm a fan? It is, like, I don't want to say, it's in the same universe as, I'm blanking on the title. Oh my goodness. The one that she just came out with that was Christmas themed. Someone remind me. Good Spirits. Thank you. Oh my goodness. I read that a couple of weeks ago and I loved it. Totally blanking on that. I feel like I have holiday brain. This is one of the first years that we've actually taken time off for the holidays. Usually we don't. And it's been amazing, but like really weird. And I feel like my brain is still in holiday mode. Alright, I'm gonna do my legend. My legend is always my like genre colors that I use throughout the planner. And this year I'm using different colors, but in the same tones as previous years because it's just like in my brain that certain genres are certain colors. So it's just like different shades that I felt represented this planner cover a little bit more. Should probably be using a ruler to do this, but I figure with the dots it's good enough. Also should have prepped my colors already. So for me, fantasy is always blue. This year I picked this like kind of dusty blue. Use markers or colored pencils. I use markers. I use the Ohuhu color markers. It's their like journal. Actually I have I don't know if I still make this exact set, but it looks like this. There's 100 colors in it. And I started testing them last year to replace my favorite planner supplies, which is the Zebra Mildliner in the brush version. I still use and love these so much, but the color choices were really limited, so I got these new markers to test and I really like them. They will bleed if you go over it like a few times, so you can only do like one layer. Keep that in mind if you decide to use them, but I do really like them. We have, that's not the right one. I gotta figure out where to put my pink. For romance, I'm doing this really pretty light pink color. And then mystery is always purple to me. This reminds me of like when you were in school and you had like, I don't know if anyone else had this, but like notebooks or something, and you had like different colors for different subjects. And everybody always argues like what's the right color for subjects. And then I have green for historical fiction. I have this really like kind of muted green. And then do orange for contemporary. Contemporary is also my just kind of like catch-all if it doesn't fit into other fiction categories. And then I have yellow for nonfiction. Picked this like gold color. And then I decided to do, this year I decided to do an other category for if it just doesn't fit these categories. So I did brown for other. So I went a little bit more like muted, less bright this year with my color palette for genres, but these are the colors that I'm using. First, fill in the words. pick my colors based on my favorite colors to favorite genres. So pinks, purples, teals for thriller, dystopian, orange and yellow for the ones I don't like. I kind of do that as well. Like, I don't know. Well, yeah, I guess kind of. But I also just go with like what feels right in my head. In previous years, I kind of combined fantasy and sci-fi, but I'm not going to do that this year because I don't really read sci-fi, so that will fall under other if I do read a sci-fi. And I know these are like really like broad genres, and as someone who reads a lot of like romantasy, it can make things a little difficult, but for me, if it has any kind of like fantastical element, it will always be fantasy, even if it's like heavily romantic. And romance is like the main plot point of the book with no fantasy elements, because I don't really read a lot of like straight fantasy. So in my mind, it just like this fantasy is like basically romantasy for me. I've always wondered though what the difference between mystery and thriller is. Like, I kind of know in my head, but like, does anyone want to fill me in on what they think the difference is? I put them all under one like umbrella because I don't read it that much. So I just choose to go with like really broad. I always thought mystery has something that needs to be solved, and thriller can be that but scarier. That's kind of how it is in my head too. I am a big wimp, so I don't read that much thriller. Okay, here we go. I am going to maybe add some color to these titles here. I don't know why I picked blue. It just felt right in the moment. Mystery is generally more cozy to me, and a thriller is a page-turning edge-of-your-seat book. That's a fun way to think of it, too. Okay. Moving on. I think I'm gonna leave my goals page until the very end because it will take me a long time to ink this whole page. But I will go over some of what my goals is. So I always have a word of the year. I have to figure out what my word for 2026 is. So I'm still working on that. My goal is to read 75 books, which is 5 more than my goal in 2025. Then I put some business goals will be here, and then my reading challenges is just to complete these ones. And then one thing I want to do in 2026 is record 1 second of video every single day. and there's this app that you can use to do it, and then it like compiles it into one video for the end of the year. And I just thought that sounded really cool and fun and like a nice little look back at your whole year. So my goal is to do that. And then I really want to focus on my fitness in 2026. I want to go on vacation because Scott and I, if you can believe it, have not been on vacation alone together since our honeymoon, which was like over 10 years ago. So I would really love to get away and do that. And then I really want to work on decluttering my house and cleaning it out, organizing it, getting everything where it needs to go, donating a bunch of things that we don't need anymore. So we desperately need that kind of thing. So kind of like more simple goals. That's what my look at 2026 is, to like not put too much pressure on myself and just kind of like go with the flow, because 2025 was a difficult year, like really threw me for a loop. So for 2026, I'm trying to just like focus on the things I can focus on, and that's it. So what are your goals for 2026? I would love to hear them. It can be big or small. See what else we can work on here. I don't have any books pre-ordered for next year either. A lot of this stuff is stuff that I'll fill in like as the year goes in. I guess I can do this title. So this year I'm going to do this page as the AFB book club, which if you didn't know, we have a book club and you should join it. It's really fun. We host it on Fable, and then here on YouTube we do a live every month. So this year I'm going to use this spread to keep track of all the books we read and my ratings. My word of the year is simplify. I love that. I love how word of the year has become like such a big thing now. I like it much more than like resolutions. Decluttering the house is a big goal for me next year. That's a good one. I want to complete 1,500 miles of a step challenge. Get a literary engine, get back into my art. All great goals. Travel to a new destination. I love this. These are great goals. Can't remember if I separated thriller. Do you have a printable for that page? I use the one in the planner for the AFB, but I would love a second one for my in-person book club. I don't know if I have this as printable. I'll have to check and see. If not, I will see if I can make that happen. It's kind of hard to keep track of all the ones we have now. Monthly date nights, out of the house. That's a good one. To read more books I already own. Dedicating more time to myself and my new book journal. That's an excellent one. Learn lettering. Love that. So fun. It's a lot of practice, but I think it's like so worth it. It's always good to like learn new skills. As someone who is like perpetually doing like crafty hobbies, I just love the like fulfillment I get in like trying something new, and like I fully recommend like every year trying to like teach yourself or like even taking a class on something that you're interested in. But I just think it's like really important to like keep that curiosity and learning going in your life. And I mean, if you're not crafty, like it doesn't have to be crafty, but for me, I just love that kind of thing. So this year in 2025, I taught myself how to crochet, and I've been working on a blanket. And in 2026, I'd really love to get more into like pottery and stuff like that, and I'm sure I'll come up with something. I'm always trying new crafts, so definitely recommend that. I would love to hear more about the mini printers you have mentioned. Any brand suggestions? I have the Canon Ivy, and I love it. I was really hesitant to like jump on that trend, but I'm so glad I did. Not just for the book covers, but like I showed in when I showed my 2025 planner, I use it for a lot of like scrapbook personal pages. And it's not like the best quality printer that you're gonna get, but for like a little mini kind of cheap printer, I think it does its job, and I'm not that picky about it. We have picked the first book for book club. We are going to be reading V.E. Schwab's book, Bury Me in the Midnight Soil. Is that it? Bury Us in the Midnight Soil? It's on our Fable. Gonna add that title. Not really much I can do until we read the first book. I'm not gonna fill it in until we like actually read the book, but my plan is to like put the book, I'm not sure if I'll do a picture or if I'll just write the title, and I might do like what genre it is so I can kind of see what genres we're reading over the year. Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil. Thank you. I'm a mess today. Told you, holiday brain. Anyways, and then I'm gonna put the month that we read it along the side here, and then just my rating, so it'll be really simple, but it'll be nice to put there. Yes, you can print a printable that you purchase as many times as you want. We just ask that you don't like distribute it to your friends. Just, it's for personal use only, but yeah, you can print it as many times as you want. Like if you bought like this one, like I printed it out 4 times, and that's totally fine. I really got into baking the last couple of years and I've loved it. Oh, I love baking. I don't know how many, I feel like I always talk about this, but I went to school for baking and had my own baking company for a couple of years before I switched to doing Little Inklings full time. And I love baking, but I've learned it's more of like a hobby for me than a job. And for Christmas, I got the book Sweet Tooth by the person who does Broma Bakery. She's like on TikTok and Instagram a lot, and her recipes look really good. And my goal is to like work my way through her baking book in 2026. Not much I can do with any of these yet. Of the AFB bingo page, we can add some prompts too. I mentioned this at the beginning of our live today, but I'm not going to get everything that I need to get done to set up the planner today, so I will be doing another one of these. But I just thought it'd be fun to like hop on and actually get started. I always love there's like different levels of like planner people. Like there's people who like set up like absolutely everything like well before the new year and have it like all filled in and ready to go, and then there's other people who do some prep work before but kind of like leave a lot of it to like through the year, and then there's people who like don't do any prep work and just like kind of start as like when the new year starts. I just think it's fun to like see all the different types of people. I'm definitely like a middle of the road person. Like I'll prep some things, but I also recognize like I have a whole year to like plan, so I like to add things as I go and leave room for any challenges that might pop up in the year. This title line is like so long, so I'm just gonna add some like little books. Fill it in a little bit more. I'm doing the AFB bingo, which if anyone doesn't know, we have a Facebook group, and in it, our other moderator, a different Megan than me, she's in the chat. She posts every year like list your like prompts, so it could be like your favorite trope or just like whatever like prompt you would think of for a bingo, and then everyone like picks and chooses whatever ones they want to fill in their bingo, and then I just call it AFB bingo because it's from the Facebook group. And one thing I like to do is I like draw a little line at the bottom of the boxes so that I have a space to write the title of the book, because I've seen people do bingo before and they just like color in the square if they get it, but they don't like put what the book is, and I just really like to know which book I used for which prompts. So I'm just gonna draw a line, and that will be for the book title. I've also seen, I actually think it was other Megan, sorry Megan, I'm giving you a million shout outs today, mentioned that she has done like a hinged book photo, which is such a cute idea. So that's also another option. Or you can just color it in and not put the book title at all. Or you could put a book over it and not see what the prompt is. Whatever works for you. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Okay, now I wrote down some prompts that I was going to use. Let me just pull that out so you can reference it. And then I'm gonna just pencil for now, because I'm gonna have to get some spacing. Last year on my bingo card I did like doodles and everything. I don't think I'm gonna do that this year. I think I'm just gonna like write them in using like different styles of lettering. I think the bingo page was like one of my favorite additions to the planner. It was just like really fun. So first one is full cast audiobook. We have multiple POV. This one was fun. It was a bucket list setting, which I thought was kind of neat, and I haven't seen that one before, so do that one again. So I think this post is still up on the Facebook page. So like you could go and add prompts or like look at the prompts and get your own ideas. It also doesn't have to be like only from that. Like you can do a mix of like those prompts and like ones you want to add yourself. What's the measurement for the bingo line? I'm not sure what you mean, bingo line. Like the line I added? Because I don't know, I just like eyeballed it. It's not anything specific. I believe I still have this up as a printable too if you want to add more than one bingo card. The other one I thought was fun was a staff pick from like a library or bookstore. And of course have to have some representation. So we've got Canadian author. And this one's a fun one, a recommendation from the AFB group. I'm gonna like keep it broad in that it could be either the Discord or our Facebook group, but I think that one will be a fun one. And then I have a couple of like tropes, one of which is the who did this to you. So if that appears in a book, which I think that's a new one for my bingo card this year, and I think it's going to be really fun. Such a classic. A little bit more space. And have to obviously add a grumpy sunshine. One of my favorite tropes. I'm curious if you have, like, for the bingo that's included in the planner, like, are you doing the AFB, or are you coming up with, like, your own, or, like, what are you using bingo for? I did before, I think I showed my last planner, just strict, like, romance tropes. I used the like stickers that come in the romance sticker pad and put that. That was a fun one as well. I didn't finish it, but it was a good one. Have I missed how you add pages? I did mention at the beginning, but if you missed that, I just print them out and cut them based on the markings. Make sure your printer is set to like not change the size of it. Like sometimes it will like blow it up to the full page or whatever. You just need the standard. And then I use a double-sided tape and just do it on the back and then put it over top a dot or lined page that I'm not using. Super easy. Simple. You could glue it with like a glue stick. Also gonna add set in a small town. The ones that I picked and like added myself are like obviously geared towards like the genres I read more of, so like you could skew it based on what you read more of. I'm doing a life bingo card. I see those all the time, like on TikTok, where they like do a bingo card for the year, and I think that's so fun. I think that would be a great idea. It doesn't even have to be like reading specific. I've also seen people do like self-care or like kind of like experiences that they want to try and have in 2026. That would be a really fun one to do as well. Also, on the same line as Who Did This to You, we have Touch Her and Die. Another classic. Or like Get Your Hands Off My Wife, or like, you know. Add bingos. Yeah, it's available as a printable, so you can add as many bingos as you want. My friend did a bingo for predictions of things that would happen in 2025. Yeah, those are like really fun to see. I've thought about adding another bingo that is like not book related and doing something like that. I just love the possibilities. I used some from yours last year and also adding my own favorite tropes. I love the spread. The bingo is so fun, honestly. It's also so satisfying to mark one off. I have a book under 300 pages. Oh, this was a fun one too. The Non-Human Sidekick. That one I added after we read The Spell Shop for our December book club. And the sidekick was a talking plant, and it was so cute. And this one, really simple one. We're just gonna do a 5-star book. I'm pretty like sparing with 5 stars, so it's not like as simple for me. But I think it's good to have a mix of like simple and difficult. Another one which is Made Me Laugh. It almost did make me cry, but I'm not an easy crier, so it takes a lot for that to happen. But I feel like Made Me Laugh is a little bit more my alley. We're also doing another easy one, which is a reread. I like rereading books. I like rereading my favorite books. So it was like that struggle between like rereading a book that you know you love and then like trying something new, because there's so many books that are like recommended to us all the time. There's some people that don't reread like ever, which like I get in theory, but just not for me. And then this one has pink on the cover. And we're gonna do a second book in a series. I was like start so many series and then I like never finish them. And then we have Adapted to Screen, which I think will be a fun one. I know there's so many books being adapted in 2026. What does everyone have planned for the rest of their days? Or day, I guess. I have some laundry to do, and I really want to get back to my book. I am rereading Bride by Ali Hazelwood so that I can read the second one, Mate, I think it is. I think that came out earlier this year, so I'm hoping to finish both of those before the end of the year if I can. Let's see. How many blank pages are in the new planner to add extra tracker and things? I can show you. So at the end of there's actually 2 here. I just covered them up. So there would be like 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 at the beginning, and then there's 12 at the back of the book, and then you get 1 per month. So there's a lot. And then that's only dot grid. There's lined pages at the back of the book too. Curious, what book have you reread the most times? That is a good question, and I don't know the answer to that. Would probably be Queen of Shadows. Maybe Evelyn Hugo would be up there as well. Anne of Green Gables I've read a lot of. I haven't read it in a really long time, but I used to read it every year for a long time. I've read Fourth Wing quite a few times as well. I don't know. Back to my bingo. This one will be a scene on Book Talk. Which is a very interesting place. There's some good recommendations, and then there's some not good recommendations. I feel like that's with everywhere. Just have to find people that have similar tastes as you. What else we got? A cozy read. I was never a big like cozy book person, and then this year we read a couple for our book club, and turns out I really loved them. I don't think I could read exclusively those, but they're really nice as like almost like a palette cleanser. Do has a map. I was excited to see how you organized the weekly because it's my first year. I'm doing the Undated and the new setup Story Me Off. If you, I don't know if you want to, but if you look back at my Instagram from not this year but the previous year, I did Undated then, and I have a ton of weekly spreads on there. And then you could also look in the Facebook group for recommendations as well. But it's gonna be really dependent on like your style and what you want to keep track of personally. But I haven't done the weekly spreads yet. I won't do those until January. So maybe the next plan with me, I'll have more to show on that front. What else? Oh, has a map. I did say that. Guess we have room. We can do a second line. And some more representation. I'm gonna do a rom-com. And the last one is going to be a really simple one, which is just a book from my shelves. Okay, here we go, all penciled. I think I'm going to leave it as pencil for now so that we can like move on to other things. I'll either ink it later or I'll ink it like on my own time, but you can at least see how I'm going to lay it out. The Tetris, I'm going to do genres again, so we can just set that page up. While that dries, we can do our colors. I think these two pages are some of my favorites in the planner. They're just so fun to fill in every year. Did you finish this year's? Are you talking about the bingo? I did not. I have 4 prompts left on my bingo. But I did get bingo multiple times. So in that way I finished it. I just didn't do like a whole... I didn't finish all of them. One thing I like to do kind of outside of the legend with my genres, the similar thing, but when I add all of my other trackers of all the different things, like I mentioned at the beginning, all of the colors that I use, I like write down what the like number code is, and I make like on the very back page of the planner, one of the last note pages, I make like a kind of reference for myself of all the colors I use, so it's easier to keep track of. That's also where I like test new pens and supplies so that I'm not doing it on a page I care about. Although sometimes I just like go right in, but usually I try and remember to test it first. These are the Ohuhu color markers. It's their journal dual brush pens. They're the water based ones, not the alcohol markers that they make. And I was talking about them earlier. I really like them because there's like so many colors. I got a set of 100 and they're relatively inexpensive, I find. And the only thing is that you can't like color with them. Like I wouldn't say you can like go over an area like multiple times or like blend or anything like that, because they will bleed if you either press too hard or like go over it multiple times. So you do have to be a little bit careful, but I love all the different colors. I'll do it in my other pen. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoy it. Sometimes I like get so focused on something I kind of forget that we're here all chatting together. Alright, what color do I want to do for the title? Maybe do like a aqua color. I find working in my planner to be one of the most relaxing things. I love just like coming in and doodling, adding things, scrapbooking pages. And there's something really special about a new planner. All the pages are so crisp. How long did it take you to learn writing like that? Where did you start learning to letters, videos? If so, which ones? So I've talked about this a little bit before. I do have a video on my YouTube channel, but it's from like, I want to say it's like 7 or 8 years old, where I have some like tips and tricks of how I learned to letter and just some like things to keep in mind. So you can go check that out. I know there's a lot more resources available now than there was when I first learned the like 8-9 years ago that I was doing this. So I wouldn't want to like say, because I'm sure there's much better resources now, but like you can just look up like how to learn like modern calligraphy, how to learn brush lettering, like how to improve your handwriting. There's like a ton of like videos out there that will teach you all those things. Things I will say is that you have to be consistent at it. You have to practice a lot. I got like just like a really cheap notebook and just like filled it practicing like shapes, letter forms, the thick and thin lines, and doing like there's certain words that like will kind of teach you, and kind of just like I would just fill it with like the alphabet all over. And so like there's a ton out there, but really it just comes down to like practicing, because the more you practice you'll build up muscle memory and then you'll get to it. But the like number one thing I can think of is like you don't look at it as like writing. You are like forming individual letters, not words, and it's all about like the shapes and stuff like that. And yeah, it's like the concept itself is like relatively simple. It just comes down to like practicing over and over again, and you go really slow. And like when I'm doing like a word like this, I'm writing a lot slower than I would if I just like was writing on a notepad really quick, like a grocery list. Like my actual handwriting is like pretty messy, but it takes time. And like now I can do this a lot more simple because I've been doing it for years and years. So you like build up the skill. So when you start, it might like not look like where you want it to go, but you just keep practicing and keep building and like looking at the letter forms, and like you'll get there. It's a relatively easy skill to learn. It just requires practice. But yeah, you can find like printable sheets online like everywhere. Like there's a ton of resources out there now that will like teach you how to do it. But it's a really like nice skill to have, and it's kind of a fun thing to do, especially if you like doing like this kind of thing. But also like there's people who want their planner to look a certain way and they don't want to take the time to learn lettering, and they will like print it out on sticker paper and like use fonts and stuff. So like there's definitely workarounds if you don't want to like take the time to teach yourself, or you can just use your own handwriting if you don't care at all. But I do get asked about learning a lot. I've mentioned before that I've like thought about doing kind of like a workbook or like a series or something on teaching it, but I just feel like there's so many resources out there now. I just don't know what I have to offer on top of that. But I do get asked a lot, and it's something I've definitely thought about. Another thing is that when I'm working on like the edge of a page, I like to take my ruler and rest my hand on it so that my hand isn't like hanging off the page. There have been one too many times where I've tried to do that and then like my hand will like fall and leave a mark on the page, so now I just know. Okay, we're gonna leave it like that. I'm sure I'll add some like decorative elements to the page at some point, but we're gonna keep it simple at this point. Here's how that spread's coming along. This one, I'm just gonna quickly add my goal. $75 books. Leave that there. This one I mentioned earlier. Last year I did a page tracker here where I would like keep track of the number of pages I read every day. And in 2026, I think I'm going to move into not tracking pages read every day. And that will be more of like a monthly thing or weekly maybe. I'm not sure, but I'm going to keep this really simple for my reading one, and it's just going to be a did you read? And it's going to be one color for yes, one color for no, and then I'm going to add like a little star on that day if I finished a book. That way it's like super simple. So I'm going to do that. I'll just fill in like the banner and stuff. I also mentioned, like, I think I've pulled these out a few times, so I have 4 that I'm going to be adding to my planner. One will be for tracking some health symptoms, and then I do one for fitness, and then I do one for rating my day, and then I do one for the tracking the temperature every day. And the temperature one is, I didn't think I would like doing it, but when I saw at the end of the year the like color gradient, it was actually really neat, so I'm going to do it again. And I have found these trackers to be like the most fun to fill in every day, especially looking back at the year. You can see like patterns and stuff. So I'm going to be adding these in as well. I don't know if I'll get to that today, but for now I'm going to work on this one. So for my key this year, instead of having like 7 or 8 different ones, I'm just gonna have 3. I track how long it takes me to read a book, so I switch up colors once I start a new book. That's fun. That's actually a really cool idea. And a heart, if it's a 5-star book, that's actually really cute too. I love seeing all the different like options for how people use all the trackers in the planner. So much like creativity. Do this blue for yes, and I'm gonna do purple for no. And I'm gonna do just like a little star. If I finished it. Of course, I just like wiped my finger in the wet ink, so I'll have to cover that up after. We'll do a little banner for now. We'll do a pink banner. You created the basis for all that cribbing with the best for doing. That is so sweet. Thank you. That's super nice. sometimes it like doesn't seem like real life that I made the planner and that like so many people love it and use it. Like it seems like I'm in an alternate world sometimes when I see that. It's like crazy to think that I made this planner because I wanted a planner for myself, and then it's just like crazy that other people want it too. So I mentioned I'll probably do another one of these plan with me videos in like early to mid January, and then I'll probably try and do once a month, at least for the first little while, and then we'll see like how interested people are in continuing that. And then the other thing is that our moderator, the other Megan, she does planner parties on Zoom. I think she does them every other month. Megan, if you're still here, you can confirm or deny that. So they're really fun ways to like stay connected and stay accountable to like using your planner. Just put the title in. And I'm also going to take my white gel pen and add a couple little details. And I'm also going to really add something to the banner. Maybe do like a blue gel pen. Try and not mess up the white that I just did. Just gonna add some personality to this title. how did everyone do on their reading goal for 2025? Did you reach your goal? Are you going to reach your goal? Are you not going to reach your goal? I had a goal of 70 books, and I'm currently at 91, which was pleasantly surprising. So never know what to expect. Okay. I don't know if that's picking up on camera, but it's pretty in person. And then the last thing I'm going to do is just cross off the days that aren't real days. Actually, I should add the months in first. We'll do that. I always love when I put just like the abbreviations of the months, and then I get to May and I'm just like, oh, you're so special. You get your whole title. Okay. Keeping it simple. Now I'm going to cross off all the days that aren't real days. Okay, there we have it. Nice and simple. Guess I can add my months here as well. also going to add my genres to my genre tally. What pen are you using to add the months to your stats pages? I'm using the Pentel Energel Infree in a 0.5, which is my like favorite everyday normal writing pen. I keep a collection of that pen and my favorite brush pen on standby so that I never run out because I use them so consistently. And one more. Here we go. And I'm just gonna add the titles of the genres. Hate when I have to do contemporary because it's so long. I'm always worried it won't fit. Alright, that's that one. Not gonna do anything with those. I'm just have my dot grid pages, which I'm just gonna add my little trackers and then go from there. Still have so much to do, so I'm definitely gonna need that other Plan With Me video. There's one. It's also so fun for me to see like all the different things people add to their planners, like different reading challenges or different trackers. I feel like it says so much about a person what you add to your planner. Like, I feel like it's super obvious that I like any kind of like data because I add extra charts. I also feel like I could spend like 5 hours just like sitting here working on my planner, but I'm sure many of you have things to do today, and I have things I probably should be doing today. Alright, there we go. I don't think I'm gonna do like the titles or anything at this point because I think I'm at a good stopping point for the day. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna do another planner setup video probably sometime early January, and we'll like keep going. So I'll do more of this, and then I gotta do like a title page for my little swatch scrap page that I'm gonna do, and I have a couple of other things I'm gonna add to the back of the planner as well. And then at that point we'll be in January, so I can like work through my weeks and everything and how I'm gonna lay those out. So I think that will be, I think this is a good place to stop right now, and I feel like we got a lot done today, which is really good. So if anyone has any kind of like last minute questions or anything that they want to like see in either this planner or my 2025 planner, let me know and I will show you before we cut it off. But I did want to say like thank you for showing up today for this plan with me. I always love sitting down with you guys and working on our planners together. It's something that I want to keep going into the new year, and it's one thing I actually am really excited about with our Discord group this year. I think it's going to be really fun and like an easy way to connect and like share spreads and talk about books and just have like general chit chat. So if you're not in our Discord, you should be. It's a lot of fun. It's a great place to be connected. So yeah, I think that's kind of pretty much all I have. So if there's not anything else, I think we will end it here. But yeah, thank you for being here. And I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.